I don't think the argument that esports is the same as sports is like a relevant argument. I don't think that argument really matters at all or like holds any merit. I don't think it's an important thing that people should necessarily be talking about. But that being said, esports has grown tremendously, especially like it's just an exponential growth. It's ridiculous to see like the viewing numbers from last year's World Championships to this year's World Championships for League of Legends.
The best way to probably describe League of Legends would be a 5-on-5 chess match where you can manipulate the board to your advantage.
Every individual player controls one of the pieces, and every piece is equally as integral to winning the game. In League of Legends, there's a lot of variety to each of these pieces.
I would say it's probably currently the most popular competitive game that there is. Counter-Strike is probably a close second. And then Dota 2 is rising in popularity, but I don't think it has as many players as League of Legends. Every single competitive League of Legends game is televised for free on the internet. You don't need a subscription. And that's one of the things that I think is definitely a major advantage for competitive gaming as opposed to most traditional sports. The ability for competitive games to just like permeate the market is just there's no second. And that's something that I think even like traditional sports have kind of lagged behind on. And I mean, like they have their own reasons for lagging behind on it. They make tons of money on those subscription deals and stuff. But it's something that is definitely, I think, going to change in traditional sports, and that's because of esports. View it for people who don't know how this works. Is basically there's the NACC, which is the equivalent of NCAA, and that is like a collegiate only for all of North America, not just the United States. It's for Canada too, as well as Mexico, I believe. And then there's the Challenger Series, which is amateur teams, which are professional teams, and they have their own infrastructure, and they play on their own. They're privately funded and stuff like that. And then there's the LCS, which is the equivalent of like the NFL or the actual major leagues. And those are where actual pro players play, and they have salaries, and they have their own private funding and all that as well.
Yeah, the life of someone who wants to become a pro gamer is definitely rigorous. They put in more hours than I would say people do in professional sports. Like if you look at the Korean scene, for example, they'll put in 12 hours a day.
You know what, let's just fight. When we win this, we'll just end.
Fuck. Okay, that was bad. That was a really bad calling. But
Okay.
I think, yeah.
They're running
Okay.
way too fast. We just like
Okay, we can end. We have two super slutters on here.
Filthy
Minions.
minions.
Dude, the
These
flows are
slows
so gross.
Ah,
Nice.
no assist.
Feels
Feels bad.
Dude, I don't get any assists.
Nice.
Oh, they surrendered.
GG.
GG. Well,
I mean, there's so many facets of esports that you would have a different path with whatever you want to do. I mean, do you want to be an actual player? Then obviously you're going to have a different path than if you wanted to be a like writer or a journalist, or if you wanted to be a content producer, or if you want to be an analyst, or if you want to be a coach. There's just as many positions as you can imagine in esports, and they all would have different paths that you would take to get in. It would be probably hard for somebody who's never done like anything equivalent. Like if you've never played sports, if you've never played any video games, then it would be kind of hard for me to describe the feeling to other people that you get when you like win like a high pressure game or a close game. It can even be a casual game that you think you might lose and then you somehow have like a comeback and win. Like there's just a feeling that goes with that. It's like a euphoria. It's basically addicting, where you like want to keep doing that. You want to keep proving yourself.
I want to like get our school's name out there and be like, whoa, OSU Collegiate Football Team, they're pretty okay. But I think a big part of it is that I still want to prove myself to others about what kind of player I am, you know. And with this team, I feel like it'll help me prove myself to not only others, but also to myself. There's still a bit of a stigma to the esports thing. Like, it's not a real sport. I don't think that matters. I think esports is its own thing that should be also embraced. And I think that, you know, as time goes, it'll just get bigger and bigger. And I think that's awesome.